bit of a statement here for you to keep me on topic. I represent a faction of people in the city of Linton that are oftentimes not heard, but are still real people nonetheless. They have families and loved ones. I'm here to speak about what's written on the side of our police cruisers here in town, that is, to protect and serve. On July 26, 2022, in Linton, Indiana, armed thugs showed up at my home when I was not there. They kicked in the door and searched my house looking for me. Not having any luck when they couldn't locate me, they left.
Sir, what was your name? I didn't catch it. My
name is Craig.
Craig?
Yes.
Last name?
It's Hendry.
Could you spell?
H-E-N-D-R-Y.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
No problem. Shortly after I returned home around midnight that night, the aggressors returned as well. They banged loudly on my door and demanded that I allow them entry. They threatened to break into my home if I did not comply with their demands. When I opened the door, I was kidnapped by them and hauled to a concrete cage where they kept me against my will for a period of 45 days. Who were these disrespectful thugs that did this to me, my family, and our property, you may ask? It was none other than the Linton Police Department. They told me the reason that they did this, the reason that they were protecting and serving the absolute crap out of me on this particular occasion, was because I had sold cannabis, a plant that grows from the ground, to consenting adults almost a year earlier. Right? Obviously a good reason to break into somebody's home. Not. They told me that the Linton PD's actions demonstrate the extreme need to abolish this entire department. Right? When the local police are not wandering around aimlessly, spending taxpayer dollars on gas, creating wear and tear on the vehicles that we've paid for, and all the while collecting a generous salary at the expense of the taxpayers, when they are not doing this, it seems they are dead set on terrorizing those of the community that seem to be undesirable to them. Of course, we know that the Linton City Council won't abolish these useless and dangerous tax leeches because they seem to fall into that same category. But to the council members' benefit, they don't personally go out and extort the community through traffic tickets or terrorize them under the color of law. But to the council members' detriment, nobody has advocated that we rid ourselves of this poison that uses taxpayer money to harass taxpayers. In closing this, I will quote the great Thomas Jefferson. He said, quote, "Fellow citizens, a wise and frugal government which shall restrain men from injuring one another, shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own affairs." Sorry, let me get this right. Their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. This is the sum of good government, unquote. We can see that in Jefferson's estimation,
Linton has become a bad government, as it is hard to conceive how their actions of destroying my property, kidnapping me, and taking me from my family, and holding me in a concrete cage against my will, was geared towards preventing me from injuring another.
To the contrary, this attack on me at the hands of the city of Linton was geared towards injuring me, my reputation, my family's sustenance, but most importantly, it was geared towards depriving me of my liberty. A crime that is unforgivable at best, but in days past, the penalties for taking a man's liberty have risen to the level of death, and I think that shouldn't be forgotten. So with that, the whole purpose of that is, I ask that you abolish this terrorist organization that is sponsored by the taxpayers of Linton, Indiana. If there's any questions or comments, I'd be happy to take them at this time.
Appreciate you coming before the council with your concerns. Their concerns have been heard. We have no intention of abolishing the Linton Police Department. We stand behind our law enforcement officers, and I would like to offer the floor to Paul Clark. If you have anything to say in rebuttal to the public comments, sir,
Yeah, I would say that the public records in Mr. Hendry's case speak for themselves. No need for me to make a comment.
That we haven't received after requesting.
I was talking about the probable cause affidavits and warrants and all of those things issued through the
Right,
courts.
but the video of you breaking into my home has still been, it's been withheld, right? You have not released this. Why?
This is not a place for the debate of this. It's
Right.
not a comment.
It's because he broke into my home and you guys allowed it to happen and you back it up. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Opportunity, sir.
Tony, you have a comment, sir?
Yeah, do we have a comment from the council?
I guess not. What I'd like to say is, the city council does not control the police department whatsoever. The police department itself has the chief and the answer to the mayor, and if there's a problem, I'm sure the police has the reason to do what they do. But then if there's a problem with it, it becomes a civil matter, or it will come from the Board of Public Works and Safety, not the city council. The Board of Works and Safety would handle if there is an issue. And like I say, I don't know what happened, sir. I mean,
Fair
but
enough.
I'm sure if the police did not have probable cause or whatever, they wouldn't kick in doors. They don't like doing that.
It's all subjective, sir,
Thank
but
you.
I would like to ask, you can not appropriate the funds if you wanted. You could just stop funding to this organization if you saw fit.
This ain't New York. I make the motion, we adjourn.
Right.
I second it.
Motion's been made to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.